Tip number 48, turning a loft into a bedroom. My name is Paul Hammer. I'm the owner of the Ace Handyman franchise group in Columbus, Ohio. And we get this request quite a bit, so I just wanted to go through some of what happens, what the requirements are, a little bit of cost, and then how to get a hold of us. So the basics of the project, this is a standard turning a loft into a bedroom. It does require most of the trades. It's going to be several days. It's going to be a week, 2 weeks long, depending on how large the project is. But it is involving framing, electrical, drywall, trim work, and painting. And generally, we're going to be setting up scaffolding in the living area. By the nature of a loft, it's the second story above an area. So we'll be setting up that to do all the drywall work, and generally this is a dusty construction job, so requires quite a bit of effort for that in particular. And then a few things to understand turning a loft into a bedroom. First, bedrooms, to qualify as a bedroom, it needs to have an egress. So you need to have a open window, some sort of way to get out of that room other than going into the house in case of a fire. A proper egress would be large enough that a firefighter can get through the window with an air pack to save somebody. You need forced air, so you need to have a vent in there blowing your heat and or air conditioning into that room. So you don't necessarily need a return. These are the vents that are high up on your walls that suck the air in and send it back to your furnace or air conditioner. You don't necessarily need to have that. The crack underneath the bottom of the door will be sufficient for pulling the air back through the system. You do need a closet to call it a bedroom, so we would have to build a closet, and this is mainly if you want to list your house with an extra bedroom. So a realtor can add a bedroom if you bought your house and it's 4-bedroom and you go to sell it 5 years later and you want to call it a 5-bedroom. It would have to have these 3 things for sure to be able to call it a bedroom. Now, if you're just turning it into an office, we don't necessarily need a closet, and that could lower the cost a little bit. But you would probably want outlets on the new wall, and maybe a ceiling fan or a light centered in the room. Now, pricing, so the budget range on this, it's very wide, $6,000 to $12,000, but it's certainly not a $2,000 job. Smaller, putting in a door and a very small wall can still add up to a few $1,000s. But generally, what we see is at least $6,000, and depending on how big the project is and some of the other factors, it can go up from there. But at minimum, building walls, finishing the drywall, doing the trim work, the doors. You have the door into the room, also the door for the closet, painting everything. And then, it depends a little bit how much 2-story work needs to be done. If it's a 10-foot run, 8 or 10-foot run, or a 20-foot run, it depends how much scaffolding, or whether we can even work from ladders or not instead of scaffolding. And then, additions such as moving electric or installing fixtures like a ceiling fan. And then, moving or altering walls, it can get into new flooring sometimes. If you move a wall, you're going to have an open space on your flooring. So you might end up having to replace all of the flooring. So why choose us? Why choose Ace Handyman Services? This project's not big enough for a general contractor, but it really is critical enough for a professional service. Once we start, we stay on it and we finish. So we've all heard the story of the disappearing contractor, the disappearing worker, and that's not going to happen with a professional service such as ours. And we can customize the project. We can break it up into tasks to meet your budget, to get it closed off, and then maybe come back and finish. Or maybe you want to do the final painting and save yourself some money there. So the next steps would be contact your local Columbus office. You send us information. Our team coordinators will go through things with you on the phone. If you can send some high-quality photos, standing back so we can get a full perspective of the space. It's likely that we can give you a tighter ballpark, a little better idea. If it's at 6,000, 8, 10, we can narrow it down a little bit. if we're in agreement on those kind of things, we certainly would be happy to stop by and confirm things on site, take some measurements, review some of the requirements, maybe specific to your space and some of the selections such as doors and trim, and then finalize an actual written estimate. So we'd love to hear from you. Again, my name is Paul Hammer. I'm with Ace Handyman Services, and our phone number is down there at the bottom, 614-392-9210.